Hello everyone, it's Takeshi from JPRail.com. Thank you very much for tuning into my channel. There are reserved seats and non-reserved seats on the Shinkansen and the limited express train in Japan. I think everyone knows what the reserved seats are like. You book a seat before boarding the train. That is a reserved seat. You'll be given a train number, vehicle number, and seat number, so you will need to board the train at a fixed time. So, what is a non-reserved seat? With non-reserved seats, can you always get a seat? I felt that some of you are not very familiar with non-reserved seats, so this time I will talk about the non-reserved seats. I will also tell you how to get the seat in non-reserved seat car. What is a non-reserved seat? In non-reserved seat car, all seats are first come, first served basis. You can sit in any vacant seat in non-reserved seat car. Before boarding, all you need to do to buy a non-reserved seat ticket is to decide on the date and the section of the boarding. When you buy a reserved seat ticket, you also have to decide which train to take, but with unreserved seats, you can take any trains. Also, if you buy a regular ticket, a non-reserved seat ticket is about 500 yen cheaper than a reserved seat ticket. With the exception of some trains, there is no difference in a seat itself between reserved seats and non-reserved seats. The price difference is the cost to secure a seat. There are reserved seats and non-reserved seats in the same train. For example, on the Tokaido Shinkansen Hikari that goes from Tokyo to Nagoya, Kyoto, and Shin Osaka, car number 1 to 5 have non-reserved seats. Car number 6 to 7 and car number 11 to 16 have reserved seats. And from car number 8 to 10 are green seat car. Green cars are equivalent to business class in terms of the aircraft, so they are completely different seats. But the reserved seats and the non-reserved seats in ordinary cars are exactly the same. With non-reserved seat cars, you have the flexibility to ride the train at any time you like, but there is no guarantee that you will get a seat. Seats are first come first served, so in the worst case, you will be standing. In non-reserved cars, you are allowed to stand in the aisle and doorways. During the busy season such as the year-end and the New Year holidays, standing passengers are crowded up to the aisles and the doorways. In the normal season, it is unlikely that you will not be able to sit in a non-reserved seats. However, if you are traveling with someone, you may not know if you can sit next to each other. Now I will tell you how to get a seat in non-reserved car. Take the train from the first departure station. The first departure station is, for example, the Tokaido Shinkansen from Tokyo to Kyoto and Shin Osaka. Tokyo Station is the first departure station. At the first departure station, there are no passengers on the train when it enters the platform. You are more likely to get a seat. What if you take the Shinkansen from Shinagawa Station to Kyoto? Most of the seats will be taken at the Tokyo Station. Also, even if some seats are vacant, I think that there are few seats left that are vacant side by side. Imagine you travel alone. Do you want to sit in a vacant seat with two seats together or in a seat with someone sitting by the window? I think most of you will sit in a vacant place together with the two seats. Especially on weekdays, there are many business travelers on business trip, so many people ride alone. If you take the Shinkansen from Shinagawa Station to Kyoto, there will be more seats on the aisle side, and it is unlikely that two people will get a seat side by side. It's easy to understand the station like a Tokyo Station, which is the departure station for all trains. But what about the station in the middle? Some stations in the middle also have trains that start at the station. Speaking of the Shinkansen, Shin Osaka and Okayama are examples. There are many Shinkansen trains that run between Tokyo and Shin Osaka and between Tokyo and Okayama. Whether you're traveling from Shin Osaka to Tokyo on a train departing from Shin Osaka or train coming from the Hakata, your chance of getting the seat are significantly different. As you saw from the example of Tokyo Station and Shinagawa Station, I think most of the seats on the train coming from the Hakata are occupied. Shin Osaka is a major station, so many passengers get off in the Shin Osaka. Many seats are vacant. But one passenger sitting on the aisle side who does not get off in Shin Osaka often move to the window side of the vacant two seats. You are unlikely to get a seat for two. Trains starting from the Shin Osaka are more likely to get a seat because there are no passengers in the train when the train enters the platform. Now I will explain how to find out the first departure station of the train. Timetable on the website of the JR companies. Some JR companies post timetable on their official website. The Tokaido Shinkansen and the Sanyo Shinkansen that connects Tokyo, Shin Osaka, and Hakata can be found from the English site of the JR Central. Access the JR Central website at this address. Click Menu in the upper right. Then click Timetable. Currently, the train schedule has changed due to the influence of the COVID-19, and although it says announcement about the review of the operation plan Tokaido Shinkansen, it is usually described as a timetable. Anyway, click here. Then you can see all the schedule of the Shinkansen trains. Looking at the timetable, you can see that all trains in the daytime hours depart from the Tokyo. Scroll down to see the train schedule bound for Tokyo. You can see that there are many trains here with Shin Osaka as the first departure station. Similarly, some trains have Okayama and Hiroshima as their first departure stations. On the other hand, there are no trains with Kyoto as the first departure station, and the trains with Nagoya as the first departure station are only Kodama trains that stop at each station. Please note that you cannot see the Sanyo Shinkansen section between Shin Osaka and Hakata or the trains going to the Kyushu Shinkansen on this timetable. Timetables of Tohoku, Hokkaido, Akita, Yamagata, Joetsu, and Hokuriku Shinkansen trains can be found from the English site of JR East. Please access this address. Not only the Shinkansen, but also many other trains, such as Narita Express, are listed. However, please note that many trains running on the JR East area, such as the Narita Express, Hayabusa on the Tohoku Hokkaido Shinkansen, and Komachi on the Akita Shinkansen, do not have non-reserved seats. All seats are reserved. Reservation is required before boarding. Let me tell you another way to use Hyperdeal. Please see another video for details on how to use Hyperdeal. In this video, I will only tell you how to check the schedule for each train. First, let's access Hyperdeal. Let's check by a train from Shin Osaka to Hiroshima. Enter Shin Osaka as the departure station and Hiroshima as the arrival station. Set the date to time you want to ride. Here it is 12 o'clock on October 10th. Click More Options to remove the check mark from the airplane. Otherwise, you may see the schedule for the domestic flights. Now click Search. You can see search results. The first one is Nozomi 21, the second one is Sakura 555, and the other three search results are all Nozomi. If you click the train timetable under the train name here, you can see the train schedule. Click on the train timetable under Nozomi 21. A separate window will open displaying the train schedule. You can see that this train departs from the Tokyo station at 9:30 and arrives at Shin Osaka at 12 o'clock. You can imagine that Nozomi 21 will arrive at Shin Osaka with a large number of the passengers in the train. close this window and check the schedule for the second Sakura 555. This train departs from the Shin Osaka at 12:06. At the time this train arrived on the Shin Osaka platform, there are no passengers on board. It's easier to get a seat on the Sakura 555 than on the Nozomi 21 that departs earlier. I have two more ways to secure the seat in a non-reserved vehicle. Go to the platform early. This is very basic, but it's important to go to the platform early and wait. Information such as the car number of the non-reserved seats is available on the platform. There will be a line according to the position of the door of the non-reserved seat vehicle, so let's wait there. When I use the non-reserved seats, I try to go to the platform at least 20 minutes in advance. Take a slow train. This is a method to use when riding the Shinkansen during the busy season when seats are crowded. Everyone wants to get to their destination as soon as possible. If you are willing to stand and want to get to your destination as soon as possible, you should take the fastest train. If you want to sit and move, it's best to take a slow train. The slowest train on the Tokaido Sanyo Shinkansen that runs between Tokyo and Hakata is Kodama. It takes time because it stops at all stations. However, stopping at all stations means that many passengers get on and off. Even if all seats are occupied at the time of the boarding, you can expect to get vacant seats along the way. That's all for this video. If you found this video useful or interesting, please click like button and subscribe to my channel. Please watch other videos too. Thank you very much for watching my video. See you guys next time. ありがとうございました。さようなら。